Welcome to the Mediocre Athletes Club.
Episode number 7.
I looked at it backwards and I was like, what?
What does this mean? I was going to do it, but I'm not really good at counting with my fingers, so.
What a day. Sorry, I just had to.
I don't even know what your day consisted of. We didn't discuss it.
Secret. It's a big secret.
Tell me about it. Today was the last day of our weekly challenges.
Oh, yeah. I was good. I slept in because that is what I wanted to do today. And I ended up going to Blueberry Knoll and just did my hill. I didn't go up. I just did my hill repeats. So I probably went like halfway up and just stayed on one hill. So that was good. And, yeah. Then I went home and ate a lot of good food, refueled. Got some coffee.
What'd you eat?
Came over here.
I'm hungry, so I want to talk about food for a second.
I don't think you're gonna like what I ate, anyways. So
was it ice cream?
Fine. No, I ate hummus and pretzels, and then I ate
sounds good.
A quesadilla with black beans and cheese salsa.
Wow.
And then I ate an apple.
Wow. We almost ate the same thing.
Really?
Yeah.
What'd you eat?
I had 2 bowls of chili. I'm so sorry. The dogs are losing their marbles.
They just
not that they've ever
had
them, but the chaos is just the dogs.
Tell us about your day. I already know, but
day was good.
I want to know.
Yeah, so I guess just rolling into the weekly challenges, I had my challenge this week was to do 6K vert because I've been neglecting vert, and today went back up to lazy, so I ended up getting 9K. But it was so pretty out today. But we had such good weather this week. There was no way to not get out there. It was warm, cool cloud days. The way they were sitting on the mountains was just cool every single time we went up. So I got pretty lucky. So yeah,
it's good.
Got the challenge. Got back in the mountains. Got off the treadmill for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it feels
still did my runs. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But
you got outside.
Got outside.
Mm-hmm. That's sweet. My weekly challenges went okay. I was supposed to hydrate, which,
I haven't seen you at all without your water jug, so.
It's true. You don't know if I drank any of it.
I don't know what's in it, but.
Yeah, it's going all right. I could be a little bit better. I was doing really good, and then I don't know. Anyways. And stretching went okay. Still trying to work out, like, I was telling
relax.
Dan yesterday that I, when you, like, start working out and you're, like, so proud of yourself and you're like, I'm gonna be healthy and work out, do all the things, and then all of a sudden your body's like, no, I don't think you should do this. Your shoulder starts hurting, and then your knee starts hurting. That's how I felt this week. So the stretching went okay, but I had to do like stretches everywhere, so wasn't able to focus on one area. It was a rough one, but it was good.
I really need to jump onto that challenge with you, but I know that I will not do it.
Well, and it's a never-ending train. Like, you start rolling out something or stretching something, and you're like, oh, I really should get to that. And then you're just like, whatever, I'm overwhelmed. I'm going to quit while I'm behind. So.
And that's where I would start, behind, and I just quit right there.
Yeah. It's not a bad place to be.
I feel like every week there's something new and fun that I've been dealing with, like hip flexors or knees or feet. But every week that issue kind of goes away and a new one happens. Not necessarily worse, it's just new and exciting.
It just keeps you on your toes.
Yes, that's, I guess that's the mediocre part, is rather than dealing with it, you just kind of wait for it to go away and a new one to arise. As long as they don't stack up, we're still moving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know the answer.
Someday I'll get into a nice stretching routine, but...
I do have to say I've found some hip exercises I really like, or some stretches, mobility. So that's been good. I like those ones, but we're working on it. Calves are always tight. But I also feel like that a lot of flexibility and mobility is genetic. Listen, hear me out.
No, I agree. 100%.
Hear me out. Yes, of course. Everybody, if you work on it, you're gonna get better, blah, blah, blah.
But if you have a chance to blame your parents for something that's wrong with you, absolutely.
Just do it. I mean, that's a generation we're in. Just blame somebody else.
Anybody.
Just kidding. That was a passive-aggressive comment. But I have just met a few people who are just in their 60s and they're so flexible. And I'm like, how's that a thing? What are you doing? They're like, I've always been like this. And that's what they always say. They're like, I've always been like this.
So it's not because they work hard. They were born that way.
It's just my theory. Anyways.
But they maintain it, so that's the battle.
Yeah. Anyways.
We'll get there someday. Hopefully when we're 70, there's going to be some young kids asking us how we're so athletic.
How are you so flexible? How do you do it all? Yeah, when we're 70, we'll be laying in our hospital bed.
Don't wish that upon us. We'll be fine. We'll get there. It's baby steps. Baby steps.
Yeah, we're good. I do have to say that's lately, these past 2 weeks, I've been working out and I'm just like, I just feel lucky to be able to move. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah. So. And lucky that you can still use the gym. Mm-hmm. And the mountains will never get shut down. So, yeah, I guess I should never say never. 2021, who knows?
Yeah, you never know. They didn't up here when March. Because I think in other states, trailheads did get shut down. Oh, gosh. Right? I'm pretty sure they did. Like Oregon and
I think I blocked all of that out of my memories. Whereas ours normally shut down for a couple weeks in the springtime just to let the trails heal a little bit.
Yeah, they get really sloppy.
Yeah, this year they decided to just leave everything open since everything else was closed, so at least people could still get out. So rather than the normal shutdown actually happening, just let us roll, and it was great. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, I don't know what you do if you don't have anywhere to go except for your home.
I don't know. I know people were going on the track. Like some things were still open, but main trailheads weren't. Anyways, that sucks. Let's hope for, I don't know, whatever. Let's move on.
Moving on.
We're done with that negative energy.
Yeah, positive energy, moving forward. I guess something that just kind of came to mind recently, because thinking about, and we've talked about this a little bit before, is quality over quantity in whether it be training or gear. And in the past, definitely when I started, which I guess was around 2013, I just go to the local grocery store and buy some shoes, toss them on. It was a long time ago, so I was young and my body was able to handle. I have the shoes that I started running half marathons on. Started definitely a little more towards the quantity portion than quality, because if I could spend $30 for a pair of shoes, why not? Why not? Why would I go to a store and spend $150, which seemed wildly expensive?
Yeah, I feel like it's really interesting, and I do think it's changed with time, and I don't know if that's true, maybe not. I mean, I know there's still some people out there who will just go to the grocery store and get shoes, or go, wherever, a cheaper place, like the big box footwear stores, the big box stores that have a bunch of shoes. But like, I know when I started, I think cross country, I remember running. Do you remember those like Adidas shoes that were kind of fat? They weren't like
Listen, I'm telling you, I bought them from all my running shoes came from the grocery store until
they
a couple
weren't
years
like
ago.
They weren't expensive. They were just Adidas, but they were like, they were kind of in. And I remember that's what I ran in. And I just remember going home. It was the first day of cross country, and the coach was like, you need better shoes. And I just remember going home because I didn't really love sports. And I was so heartbroken because I was like, I don't want to ask my parents to buy me better shoes. But, like, I'm embarrassed because the coach says I should be in better shoes. And I feel like some of that is just, like, just go out and have fun and do your best in what you have. That's my philosophy from, like, the core, like, starting... having fun. I don't think you need expense. You know what I mean? Like,
this is typically where it starts. And yeah, I guess you're not going to go out and immediately buy expensive gear because you don't know what you like.
Yeah.
This is definitely going to be a lot more YouTube friendly podcast than anything because it's a little show and tell. I can't believe I still have these shoes. These were my my very first half marathon shoes. And they were awesome because I just liked the laces, to be honest, for the most part. I ran, I think, 2 half marathons on these bad chickens. They were on clearance. And they worked great, except for they're definitely not a half marathon distance shoe. At that age, it was fine, but now, anymore, I could not run 3 miles on this shoe.
I mean, we're also kind of getting old, so our joints are like, hey, hold up. Could you be kinder to yourself?
But I wouldn't have known that not having gone through this garbage. I mean, like, this...
Okay, I mean, they are used.
This is pretty old. I mean, yeah.
You might as well run barefoot.
But yeah, I mean, that's how it was for the longest time.
I remember in college when I got into running that I had these, gosh, I think they were New Balance.
And New Balance has great shoes, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, they do have some decent shoes out there.
We're not
knocking any shoe.
No.
I remember I ran in one of those barefoot. It was kind of like that, except it had a lot of mesh, and it wasn't like the finger ones, but it was basically a barefoot.
It's the weekend. Don't look at me like that.
If you're listening, Carrie is drinking water. A lot of water. Because it's the weekend. Water with a slight amount of alcohol.
We can lie. It's okay,
kidding.
Mom.
It's a lie.
I'm not driving.
Don't listen to this one, Tracy. Shut it off. Just kidding. Don't do it. Anyways, we're getting real off track. But I remember I loved those shoes. And they weren't like anything fancy, but I liked them at the time. They were super minimal. Not like a great quality shoe, but they did just fine.
There's definitely something to look good, feel good, play good, run good, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you just have this shoe on where you feel... Which is what this shoe was for me. Was it great for my body? Absolutely not. But did I think it was the coolest shoe in the world? Absolutely.
And if it wasn't giving you any pain back then, I mean, it might build up over time if you're, like, destroying your body because you're not supporting your feet. But,
yeah.
But, I don't know.
Pounding pavement is just... The human body wasn't meant for it with about...
Especially pavement, yeah.
3 millimeters of cushion.
I do have to say, I feel like, to me, I would rather, like, okay, I have a question for you. If you had to pick, so we have trail shoes and we have road running shoes. Mm-hmm. Trail shoes, obviously trails, road running shoes, we're thinking we're running either pavement or treadmill. If you had to purchase one really cheap shoe and you let yourself spend more money on a quality shoe, which one would you choose, for trail or for road?
I would spend more money on the road shoe.
Really? I would do the opposite.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah.
That is super... Well, just I know my body gets beat up a lot more.
Yeah, I don't think it's
On
the
hard
wisest
surfaces.
choice. That's what I would choose because
It would
like a good
crush
trail
me.
shoe.
It would absolutely crush me because I'm loyal to my shoe, and it's not super cheap. So,
Right.
however, yeah, road is not nice to my body.
Yeah.
I don't, and maybe I just don't run correctly for what it's worth, but
I don't know. It's one of those things. I know somebody who was like swore by one of the Hoka really cushiony trail shoes. Swore by them, loved them, and then eventually he was just like, I am going through these so fast. So he just started going back to like $30 shoes. He was like, what's the point? I go through both of them so fast. So that was, I'm not sure what he does now, but I remember he kind of went through this phase, like loved the cushion, and then was just like, why am I spending this money?
the trails are so much more forgiving.
They are.
Depending, I guess.
And I think that's why I would pick the trail shoe for a better quality, is because just more of the climbing aspect and not wanting, I hate thinking about falling, so I like a good tread. Not so much like great cushion, but just a really good tread. So
we're definitely doing very different types of climbing. So for you, it's a little bit more important. For me, I can kind of get away with really whatever, because it's not life and death for me.
yeah.
Not that it is for you, because Teresa's very safe.
Yeah, Mom, I'm super safe.
But long story short, and maybe I just have issues too, but what was it? So 2013 up until, I think this is 4, and this is mostly...
Oh my God, you need to throw some shoes away. She
Mine
has
is-
a giant bucket.
minus this pair. This is 4 or 5 years worth of trail shoes.
Stop. You need to go
And some of them are
to the
missing their mate.
dumpster.
Why would I do that?
Why would you keep
I have
them?
an issue. I can't throw them away.
I'm gonna steal your shoes.
There's stories behind all of these shoes.
Oh my gosh, do you go and look at them every day?
No, I haven't
And
touched
just,
them
like,
in years.
talk to them?
But these were all fairly inexpensive
Judging you.
shoes.
Hey, these ones aren't so bad. These Sauconys.
No, they're great
Is
shoes.
this a newer shoe?
No.
Really?
I don't even know where or when I got that shoe.
Let's do
But
some
this
tread.
I mostly used it for treadmill stuff after a while.
Really?
Because, yeah, listen, the lugs were just too tight for me to do trails because they just packed full of... I love Saucony's great, by the way. But this old model of this shoe just grabbed mud and wouldn't let it go. So I used it. I started using it as a treadmill shoe.
Okay, I have worn trail shoes on the treadmill before, and it wasn't the worst thing I've done.
Well, especially with how much cushion. See? You can tell I was getting older by the time I got to this shoe. A lot more cushion. This shoe is wildly comfortable.
What shoe is it?
It's a Peregrine. It's an old Peregrine.
I think we need to tell the people, our cool listeners, that if you do want a good quality shoe for not super expensive, I know there's big stores that like sell old model shoes, like just one season
to
behind.
last year's model. Yeah,
For
if you're
sure.
one of the
That's
lucky
the
people
trick.
that doesn't have a popular foot size, you're golden. Mm-hmm. Because as soon as the new models are released,
And even
you
like
get cheap shoes.
I feel, well, I don't have like a super, I mean, I'm like size 7.5, so it's
You're a little
little
under average.
under, but I know I've bought an even like men's size 10.5, which is probably is that a pretty common size?
Men's 10.5?
Yeah.
Oh, not for
myself.
yourself. Okay,
No.
I was gonna say, wow. That's pretty, popular.
I know I've bought those on sale from like REI and stuff, so. it's doable. So that would be REI, any online place really. So that's an option.
Yeah.
If you know what shoe you already like.
And then once you find it, because that bucket was like 5 years for me, right? Of just trail shoes, minus this one road shoe. And then this was, what year was this? Was 2018?
This before you started
Oh, there it is.
working. Because didn't I get those? I mean, I didn't. You paid for them, but.
Yeah. This was one summer, 2018. One summer, one set. And also that's winter as well.
Those are also really light
Full year.
weight pair that wear out fast. Just because it's meant for races. Men wear out.
It's
really
supposed
fast.
to be a 200-mile shoe or one race or whatever. But that one shoe got me through a full year. 2 of these got me through a full year.
She's holding up Solomon S Labs.
Yeah,
you're
for those
listening.
not here.
They're a really good photogenic shoe. They're a lightweight shoe. Not a lot to them. Trail shoe.
Definitely soft ground because the first thing to go on these shoes is going to be the lugs. They turn into racing slicks pretty quick. So 2 pairs for last summer and winter. And then this year, another Solomon shoe. Sense Ride. This one and 1 pair of S-Labs. So now, basically 2 pairs of trail shoes to get me through a full year. Which has never happened before. But you have to kind of go through this phase and figure out what actually works for you, which is kind of unfortunate. And then little things just start to make a huge difference.
But when you first start, you're not going like all out anyway. Like you're gonna get injured if you're like all of a sudden doing you're not gonna start at 100%. So it's a perfect time if you're just starting to run to figure out what shoe you like. It's a great opportunity.
Try different things. 100%.
It's hard to, once you find something you like, even if it gives you like a little pain, it's hard to switch.
I had a pair of shoes that I wore for I just kept buying the same shoe for 2 years.
The ice bugs.
Yeah. And like I said, very YouTube friendly. This shoe they don't make it anymore and there's a reason for it. The best grip I have ever used in a shoe ever. It was just, you're planted 100% of the time. But I would have blisters half the length of the bottom of my foot. I lost, and the shoe wasn't super short on me. But I lost 4 toenails per year. It destroyed my feet, but the shoe was so comfortable and did such a good job that I dealt with it anyways, and I just couldn't stop buying it. But
once you switched,
there are better options. If a shoe is absolutely chewing up your foot, even if the grip's amazing and otherwise it's a very comfortable shoe, move on. Just move on. I cannot believe I look back at pictures that I took of my feet after wearing this shoe. It's brutal. Great shoe. Just move on. Find something else. There's going to be something that fits better, feels better, locks your foot down, and doesn't allow your toes to just get completely shredded. Because I tried going half a size up with the same shoe. Too long.
yeah, I think that's a misconception too, is people just think, oh, you run, you're going to lose toenails. And yes, at some point you're going to. But I don't think I have for actually quite a while now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Ever since I found a shoe that just molds to my foot, yeah, I haven't lost any toenails.
Yeah.
Blisters, I haven't had blisters in years either. Which I just thought was normal after every single road race and, training trails in the summer.
yeah.
I would have horrible blisters.
Yeah, and I get callus, but not, I'll get small blisters, but
Yeah.
nothing. But
normal things
also-
like heels and that type of thing, you're gonna get chewed up a little bit and you're gonna get calloused, and it happens.
Yeah, and then as soon as you like pass 10-mile mark for any adventure, like you're not gonna feel. That's a misconception too of like, I need a shoe that fits, like feels so good. Newsflash: if you're running more than 10 miles, your feet are gonna hurt.
Especially if they're wet or
Yeah.
even if they're just sweaty. You get sweat in there, you get dirt in there, things are moving. You're gonna probably get blisters. Your feet are gonna get sore.
When has been like the time that your feet have hurt the worst? A certain trip. Can you remember any?
I can't. I want to say it was probably while I was wearing the ice bugs because it was my whole heel. I had probably 4-inch long blister from my heel to the middle of my foot, and deep, super deep too. So eventually, once the blister started deteriorating, it's down to baby skin. Mm-hmm. But I kept wearing the shoes because I loved them so much.
So loyal.
So yeah, Icebug does a great job with that particular shoe. They're working on the uppers and they're doing a great job now. This shoe is probably
And they
5 years old.
Yeah. And I feel like Icebug got their start based off of like grip and ice and the rubber they were using.
They had that down since the beginning. It was the upper that needed some work, and I think they've kind of dialed it in.
That actual athletic piece of it. Yeah, I know my feet get super, like if they're hot and wet, it's a bad day. For like hot, wet, and if you side hill.
Oh, yeah.
Forget about it.
There's just no way that, there's no shoe in the world
That's gonna work. I remember.
I feel like there's a story coming.
There is. Dan and I were hiking out from. There was like a decent amount of bushwhacking, but not awful. It was fine, but it was really hot, and the fireweed was dead, basically. So it was all like it was just cotton.
I know where this is going.
And we were side hilling, so we were just like side hilling through all of this cotton that was just like flying in my face. It was so hot out. And my feet were just on fire. And I just, like, sat on the side of the hill. And I was like, I just can't do it. Dan just kind of shook his head and kept walking. He was like, really?
Well, you're going to die out here. You're going to keep going.
But mostly the cotton.
In your eyes, in your nose. Yeah, you can't
your
breathe.
mouth. Terrible. Anyways.
Anytime I get a little bit cold or I'm annoyed that the trails aren't super even or super post-holy in the winter, I remember moments like that where it's either you can't breathe because of mosquitoes or the fireweed cotton. Or...
Why do we live in this terrible state? Just kidding.
It's nice most of the time.
Kidding.
However, yeah, there are certain moments that make you appreciate winter.
That's true. Until it becomes winter. Maybe not.
We just hate everything.
Okay. Anyways. Shoes. Go try new shoes.
Yeah, that was a big ramble. To just say,
good.
try different things. If something's destroying your feet,
Yeah.
don't wear it for 2 years.
It's a good, valid point. Very valid point. Oh my goodness. What's your next week's challenge? What are you doing? I don't know what I'm doing yet.
Yeah, I just want to do... I overshot my last one where I said get a sub 7 outside. It's winter. There's no nice place to run outside. So this week I'm going to try to get my sub 7.
What are the tracks like this time of year? Do they just let them go?
I have no idea.
They must just let them go. Wouldn't that be cool if they were heated? Heat up the environment.
We should talk to them
Just
about
kidding.
that. It would be really great for me if you could heat your track so that I can use it all winter long.
Yeah.
I'll bring that up with the schools.
I mean, honestly, maybe we can do some fundraising for them. $10.
How much does this cost? Oh, never mind.
To rip up your entire track and just put some heating elements
Start from
under
scratch.
it. Sure,
listen, this is Alaska. We need to.
We need space.
Yeah. Can't run inside.
Heated space.
We can run outside though.
Well, you could run in the indoor track, I guess.
What if they shut it down?
Outdoor. Oh yeah, they might. Things are getting a little crazy up here, but we prefer just not to talk about it.
Anyways, moving along. So mine is to get my new mile time, because it really irritates me that I was just over 7. And I know I can get under it. So, your turn.
Wait. So yours is a sub 7 outside? What?
No.
What is yours? Wait.
Mine, no, because last time I went for sub 7 outside, but then it snowed and blah, blah, blah. And
sub
it's dark
7
all
inside?
the time. So, sub 7, wherever I can get a sub 7, I do not care.
Okay.
If I have a dream about a sub 7, I'm going to count it.
No, doesn't
Whatever it takes.
Your
turn.
We could just go run on the highway. I'm sure people would appreciate that. I mean, not the homeless, but there are people, probably more like people who are on drugs, who decide to walk clothed in all black when there is a sidewalk right next to the highway. So we could be those people.
It's a bike path. They can't walk on that.
Oh, yeah, bike. Sorry.
But if you're on a bike, it's a walking path, so they can't bike
Maybe
on
we
that.
should buy all those people bikes.
Maybe
really nice.
Next week we could just complain about things.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
We'll stop that. I don't really know what mine is next week. I'm lost in life. Just kidding. I don't know. No.
Do you want to run the sub 7 mile?
No, I don't. I really don't. Yeah. I don't know, people. Tell me what to do. Write in. Tell me what to do with my life. This is a great opportunity.
Yeah. Why are we making our own challenges? We need people to challenge us to things. At this point, you kind of know what we do.
Yeah. Come on.
We climb things and we run kind of slow.
Yeah.
Sometimes. And then sometimes we lift weights, as in we, not me, just Teresa. So if we can just have some help with the challenges, maybe tell us what your challenges are and we can feed off of that, or give us a challenge that we might be able to handle.
Or that you don't want to try, but you want us to try, and then we'll tell you how it
Let
works,
us be test dummies. We're so okay with that.
Yeah, unless it's something dumb. Just don't be dumb.
Yeah, not like jumping off a bridge or in front of a car.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah, don't tell us to do that. Maybe mine should be to not drink coffee.
I hate that.
I know, but I'm getting like heart palpitations. I think it's killing me.
Yeah.
I think this is killing my dreams, goals. So maybe that's mine.
Yeah, your coffee is so unhealthy.
Honestly, that beer might be more... Well, it's not really beer. It's more like water. But
it is water.
I wonder if what's more dehydrating, this coffee or the beer?
100% your coffee.
You think so?
100. How much water is in your coffee?
Isn't alcohol?
This is
alcohol
a LaCroix.
Diuretic?
Diabetic.
I think I said dietetic.
Yes, it is.
Clearly, I haven't had enough coffee. It is. Alcohol is?
Oh, I thought you said coffee.
Is alcohol a diuretic?
I don't know.
Tell us. Let us know. Because we can't Google things. We're banned from Google. All right. I'm getting really weird, so we better sign off. My goal is to drink less coffee. I don't want to say none.
You know what
might be rough, but I had 3 coffees this week.
Oh, that's not bad.
Well, I'm not... Those weren't really counting home coffees.
Oh, gosh. All right. So. Fine. We'll be better about making your own coffee.
Just me.
We isn't just Teresa.
You do you. All right.
This
was a great talk. Go buy shoes. Drink less coffee.
And then tell us what to do.
Moral of the story.